Okay, so both fuselages have now got one layer the full length, 2 layer from behind the wing to the nose, and a 3rd layer from just behind the leading edge to the nose. So those are the 3 layers. Now these are quite dry laminates because I put 3 layers in. The last layer I hardly even used any resin to wet it out, so it's absorbed resin from the first 2 layers. Now this one over here has still got quite a bit of resin in it, so what I'm going to use is a bit of paper towel. Just put it in just to sop up some of the excess resin over here. This is obviously just going to be excess weight, so I don't want any excess weight at the tail of the glider, because obviously any weight down here has to be compensated with weight up in the nose. So excess weight can come out. And as I've said before in other videos, your strength doesn't come from your resin, it actually comes from the fibers, and the resin is only there as the glue to hold all the fibers together. And more resin than is required is just a waste. It doesn't do anything. You only need so much to glue these fibers together, and the excess can be sopped out and got rid of. Right, so the next thing after this, pieces of fabric. The cloth can be, paper towel can be turfed. Right, so I have to make absolutely sure that everything is against the side of the mold. I don't want any surprises later on when I demold this and then I've got no reinforcement behind the paint. Now we call this paint basically inside the mold, is an in-mold coating. A lot of people talk about gel coat and what have you. Obviously gel coat you can use, but it's heavy and it's difficult to apply in nice even thin coats, so it's much easier just to use a 2K paint, which is what I've done over here. And obviously the important thing now is, because it has solvents in the paint, you want those solvents to completely evaporate before you start doing any layup and encapsulating any solvents in there, which could cause problems later. Over this little area here I've put an extra few layers of fabric just to reinforce this area, and later on when I put that plug in there, it'll screw into some fabric. So there's about 6 layers of fabric just over the back of it here, so the screw's got something to bite into. Right, the next thing is I'm going to put some carbon toes. Now these are 24K carbon toes, so I'm going to cut a couple of them. I think I'm going to use 4 per fuselage side. So we just pull them out, cut them a bit longer than I need, we'll trim them back later. It's 3, try and keep them as flat as possible as well, it just makes it easier to wet them out. Work with, that's 4 for that fuselage. And another 4 for this side. That half, 4 one half and 4 the other half. Now this is going to give me a lot of torsional stiffness, or longitudinal stiffness I should say, in the construction of this fuselage. Right, one more. There we go, so we got 8 lengths of carbon, 24K this is. Each one of these toes has basically 24,000 individual fibers, and the fibers are smaller or thinner than a human hair, very, very fine fibers. Right, so now this is an aeroplane, obviously, and the bending loads on this are, especially when you're pulling G's in that, is going to be in this direction. More, not so much in this. There will be some, but most of the bending is in this direction. So I want to get these carbon toes up as close to the join line as possible on either side. So very carefully, I'm just going to start wetting out from the front over here and pushing them up against, or within about 2 or 3 millimeters of the and try and get them as flat as possible. So 2 to 3 millimeters from the edge. I don't know if you'll be able to see from that angle, but let's put it over here. So I'm going to get it close to this edge as possible. And relatively flat against the side of the fuselage. And keeping them straight and kind of stretched out is important. Right, I'm going to take this glove off because it's a bit sticky, difficult to pull these fibers nicely through my fingers. Right, there we go. Just do the first one and start the next and then switch the video off. Carry on later again. Okay, so coming up to the tail here. Now I can just chop that off. Don't need to go any further than this. Right, this will also probably be mostly used on the slope and a little bit of electric perhaps. I'll put an electric motor in it, we'll see. For the electric motor I will put a bulkhead over here. I can cut off the nose and the electric motor will fit in there. Alright, so that's the first toe in. Then come with another toe. Same thing again, and I'll put this one basically right on top of that one. So the idea here is for me to get this at the top and bottom of the fuselage. Now obviously I'm working here on the bottom of the fuselage where this toe is. Not so much on the side because I don't think I need a hang of a lot of longitudinal stiffness in that direction so much as I'd need it in this direction here. Right, so I'm going to carry on putting in all these toes and we will show you the trimming and what have you just in the next couple of videos. So I'll leave it at this point.